Hello and welcome to RTM News. My name is Emmy Akura Adaa, and let's take a look at the stories coming in our news for tonight. Bishop plans march to Public Protector's office in a bid to force her to quit. Concerned South African Hagui Maumela is organizing a march to Public Protector Bosisiwe Mkhwebane's office and plans to camp there until she resigns. She's against the country, said Maumela by a phone after a WhatsApp notice of the march did the round. He explained the organization, which he said only accepted ANC and SACP members, was planning to march to Mkhwebane's office in Pretoria on August 30 and not to leave until she leaves the office. Maumela added Mkhwebane should be focusing on investigating the state-owned enterprises which have been looted instead of President Cyril Ramaphosa. Staying in South Africa, foreign-owned shops are looted in Soweto. Foreign-owned shops that were targeted in Soweto as some residents went on a looting spree yesterday evening. By late night, reports of looting were still coming in. Police spokesperson Captain K. Makubela confirmed the incident in Zola, Mdeni, Moletane, White City, Zondi and Rockville. He said that there was no indication yet as to why the looting had started and said the police officers on the ground were monitoring the situation. The Sowetan reported that residents in White City claimed that the looting was a way of showing their anger at the attacking police officers in Johannesburg CBD 2 weeks ago. Part of the CDB spiraled into chaos after police conducted a raid on shops in GP Street which were allegedly selling fake goods. Taking a look at the last story coming in this segment, taxi driver dead, 22 puppies injured in head-on collision in Northwest. Education authorities appeal to public transport drivers to exercise extra caution on the road after one driver died and 22 children from different schools were involved in a terrible head-on collision in the Northwest. The collision between two quantum taxis happened in Klerksdorp. The puppies were traveling to their different schools at the time of the accident. The injured learners were transported to Akron and the Tepong hospitals in Klerksdorp, said Education Department spokesperson Elias Malindi. One of the taxi drivers died at the scene. 5 puppies were reported to be in a critical condition. Education MEC Mapefo was traveling to check on the condition of the injured children. After the short break, we will continue in the rest of Africa. Stay tuned.
Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, we're here. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Sudan flash flood killed 7, injured 2. The rainy season is well underway in Sudan, and the intensity of the downpours have led to flash floods that have claimed 7 lives and left 2 others injured. The state-owned Suna news agency reported. 7 people died and 2 others were injured in different parts of Al Jazeera state, while a dozen villages were affected by floods due to heavy rains that led to the collapse of a number of houses, the reporter said. The oldest casualty was a 43-year-old woman, while the remaining victims included a teenager and the children between 8 and 12 years old. 6 of them died in the 15th district of Rifaz, while the 7 died in the village of Zaha. Said one of the 10 villages affected by floods that lasted from Monday till Wednesday morning. The AFP news agencies added that the rains have been pouring in the last few days and had submerged hundreds of homes in the capital, Khartoum. Staying in this segment, Kodia, a political meeting, Somali minister on photo with a Somaliland president. Somali's Foreign Affairs Minister Emmy Akura Adaa has all but put to rest a bugling Twitter traction over a photo taken in Saudi Arabia between Somali cabinet ministers and a Somaliland delegation. According to him, the photo needed not to be overly interpreted beyond being just a photo. He said he was pleased to meet the Somaliland delegation led by its president Musi Bihi, but that all exchanges were apolitical. Happy to have met with the President Musi Bihi and his delegation during Hajj. This was a cordial meeting between brothers at the most blessed and holiest of a Muslim sites. We enjoyed friendly conversations which did not include political discussions for those who may be curious, he said in a tweet accompanied by the said photo. Taking a look at the last story coming in this segment, combat around the Libya capital Tripoli resumed after Salah truce. Fighting around Tripoli resumed overnight following a 2-day truce observed during the Muslim holiday of Salah. Libya officials have said the 2-day ceasefire proposed by the UN was the first since the self-styled Libya National Army led by Commander Khalifa Haftar launched an offensive in April to capture Tripoli from a UN-supported but weak government. Haftar's forces carried out airstrikes overnight on Tripoli's southern outskirts, the officials said. The strikes focused on the road linking the city center with a sheltered old airport that Haftar's forces took back in April, as well as the neighborhoods of Wadi El Rabi, the officials said. The militia allied with Tripoli's UN-backed government also shelled Haftar's forces in the southern and eastern outskirts, they said. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at our Nigerian stories. Stay tuned.
Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Buhari suspend Obono Obla after demanding ICPC report. President Muhammadu Buhari has suspended the chairman of the Special Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property, Chief Okoye Obono-Obla. A competent president source told journalists on the condition of anonymity that Obono-Obla's sacked letter had been delivered to the Solicitor General of the Federation and the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Dayo Akbata. The top government officials say the federal government might ask the University of Justice to withdraw Obono-Obla's law degree, while the Nigerian law school might also be directed to bar him from practicing as a lawyer. These are apart from the criminal prosecution that he might be subjected to based on his alleged illegal financial dealings said to have been uncovered by the Independent Corruption Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. The sources say the President Muhammadu Buhari has sacked Okoye Obono-Obla, the head of the Asset Recovery Panel. Staying in Nigeria, Borno donates Sambisa Forest for Ruga. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has donated parts of Sambisa Forest, Boko Haram stronghold, to the federal government for the Rural Grazing Area Program. According to the cable, Zulum announced the donation when the Shehu of Borno, Alhaji Galbe Ekanami, visited him at the government house, Meduguri, during Salah. He said the Nigerian security and the civil defense corps agro rangers and hunters had been mobilized to secure the area. Zulum said, "We have identified 6 different locations we consider safe for the pilot scheme in the state. The Ruga scheme is as old as history. It is not a new thing. I don't know why some people are politicizing it. This administration is determined to strengthen the security architecture to encourage farming and the herding activities across the state." The governor said the government would provide 80 patrol vehicles to boost the security in the state. Zulum said about 75 trained agro rangers and 300 hunters will also be mobilized next week to enable farmers to cultivate their farmland. And in the last story coming in this segment, Army police disagree as drunk soldiers kill 3. Barely a week after some soldiers shot to death 3 police officers in Ibi, Taraba State, some military personnel attached to the 81 Division of the Nigerian Army have killed 3 residents of Ishiri Olofin, a boundary community between Lagos and Ogun State. 2 of the deceased were identified as Damilare Adelani and 1 Tayesi. The soldiers were reported to have accompanied 1 Tiri, an indigene of the community, laying claim to the Kara market to the festival. Tiri was said to have been engaged in a supremacy battle with another powerful family in the community over the control of the market, which is a settlement in Ogun State along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway just before the Bega bus stop in Lagos State. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at our international stories. Stay tuned.
Programs were education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Oh, RTM, RTM, oh, RTM, RTM, Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Oh, RTM, RTM, oh, RTM, RTM, Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Oh, RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Oh, RTM, RTM, oh, RTM, RTM,
You're still watching RTM News. 13 U.S. states sue over new rule to limit legal immigration. A coalition of 13 U.S. states sued President Donald Trump administration on Wednesday, seeking to block a new rule that would drastically reduce illegal immigration by denying visas to poor migrants. Some experts say the rule could cut legal immigration in half by denying visas and permanent residence to hundreds of thousands of people if they fail to meet high enough income standard or if they receive public assistance such as welfare, food stamps, public housing, or medical aid. The Trump administration message is clear. If you are wealthy, you are welcome. If you are poor, you are not. Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson said in a statement, this rule is un-American, anti-immigrant, and unlawful. Staying in this segment, Venezuela's Maduro accuses former Colombian President Uribe of plotting to kill him. Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro accused the former Colombian President Alvaro Uribe of plotting to assassinate him in cohorts with Colombia's U.S. Ambassador Francisco Santos and exiled Venezuelan opposition leader Lester Toledo. It was not the first time Maduro, a socialist, accused the politicians from neighboring Colombia of plotting against him. As the relations between the two countries deteriorate amid an economic crisis in Venezuela that has prompted more than 1 million migrants to settle in Colombia. During a state television broadcast on Wednesday evening, Maduro gave a detailed account of how the three plotted the attack from a bunker in a house belonging to Uribe, a right-wing leader who has been an outspoken critic of Maduro and his predecessor mentor, the late former President Hugo Chavez. And taking a look at the last story coming in this segment, prosecutors seek sale of luxury home linked to stepson of Malaysia ex-prime minister. U.S. prosecutors are seeking to sell 3 luxury homes linked to the stepson of former Malaysian Prime Minister Nazib Razak, court documents showed. In the latest effort to recover money allegedly stolen from Malaysia Fund 1MDB, Malaysia and U.S. authorities alleged that about $4.5 billion was misappropriated from One Malaysia Development Berhad, a state fund co-founded by Najib. Since 2016, the U.S. Department of Justice has filed for future lawsuit on about $1.7 billion in assets allegedly bought with a stolen 1MDB funds, including a private jet, luxury real estate, and jewelry. The United States has begun returning to Malaysia some $200 million recovered from the sale of seized assets. And those are all the stories we have for you in this segment. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at our sports stories. Stay tuned.
Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries. Redeeming
Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's take a look at the stories coming in our sports stories for tonight, starting with the first story. Adrian saved the Tammy Abraham penalty to give Liverpool win over Chelsea. Liverpool won the Super Cup for the fourth time in their history by beating Chelsea 5-4 on penalties after a 2-2 draw in Istanbul. Goalkeeper Adrian kept out the Tammy Abraham's spot kick to secure a victory for the Champions League winners. Chelsea had taken the lead in the first half through Olivier Giroud's clinical strike, but Sadio Mane scored twice to give Liverpool the lead. Jorginho's spot kick took the game to penalties, where Liverpool won 5-4 on penalties. Staying in the sports story, Neymar, Paris Saint-Germain reject Barcelona and Real Madrid bids for Brazilian forward. Barcelona and Real Madrid have made unsuccessful offers for the Paris Saint-Germain forward Neymar, says the BBC Radio 5 Live Guillem Balig. Neymar's former club Barcelona are believed to have offered €100 million, £92.4 million plus Philippe Coutinho. Ivan Rakitic was also discussed with the French club as part of the deal for the 27-year-old Brazil international. Real have put forward a deal that includes money as well as Gareth Bale and James Rodriguez. And in the last story coming in this segment, Ashes 2019, rain washes out first day of Lord's Test. The first day of the second Ashes Test between England and Australia was abandoned without a ball being bowled because of rain at Lord's. A break in the weather did allow the 3:30 start to be scheduled, only for further rain to intervene. There has yet to be a toss and the teams have not been officially named. However, pace bowler Geoffrey Archer was presented with his England cap, confirming that he will make his Test debut. And those are all the stories we have for you in our news for tonight. Thank you so much for staying with us. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same station. Do have a wonderful evening.
Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. Oh, yeah. For quality programs, why? Education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul.